What's happening, everyone? Happy New Year. We made it. 2025. Can you hear me? That's the first thing because we have a Midnight's Edge in the morning raid coming our way. Can you hear me? Let me know. Give me the thumbs up. Boom, boom, boom. That'd be great because I'm working with two camera angles today. That's why it's a little different. That's the only reason why. Can you dig it? Yes, I can. 5 out of 5, Paulie. All right. Jim Watari's here. Great. Excellent. Lord Thought. Ron is right. Hanging with Erica and Raf. Liam Lionheart, members of the channel here. Hello, Sanda Hamaslag. Sanda. Happy New Year. Novella Princess, the mum. ¿Qué más? Jacob Ironside. Haven't been in this chat since last year. I see what you just did. I see you. I see you. One of the new things that I got, or one of my Christmas presents, my mom got me this huge sippy cup. I mean, this thing's gigantic, yo. Hello, Jacob. Hello, Penny. People are getting in here. Okay, it's really simple what we're doing today. We're going to count down my favorite films of 2024, 20 of them. I got honorable mentions. I got biggest disappointments. I have best Latino films. I have best Indian films. So we're going to do it all. And that's really it. I haven't seen every movie. Let me tell you right now, everyone's talking about Honora, The Brutalist with Adrian Brody. I haven't seen the Bob Dylan film yet, so I haven't seen every film. So this isn't necessarily like the critics in the Hollywood list, by the Latino slant. No, this is all the movies that I saw this year, and these are the ones that I liked. 20 of them are Indian. No, I think about three of the 20 are Indian from India. You got your sippy cup. I got my sippy cup, yo. How was everyone's New Year's, guys? How was everybody's New Year's? Mine was incredibly boring. Okay. Here's what I did. So first of all, my girlfriend has been out of town for a week. She gets into town later today. So I'm gonna mark some of these that I'm liking, some of the chats, star them. So I've been here with the dogs and kind of doing a couple little surprise kind of fix it jobs on the house. It's not all that, guys. But when Romy gets here, she'll be surprised. So mine was super chill. So what we got. I was able to get a new 55-inch flat screen at a huge bargain, huge deal, brand new. So me and my dad put that up last week. That's new for Romy. Hopefully, she's on a plane right now, so she's not missing this. And mine was chill on purpose. And then you know what I did yesterday? I ordered a a pan rack. It's like a rack, and you mount it in the kitchen, and you can hang your pots and pans. And then it has two different shelves, and it's all like steel, like real strong and forced. So I mounted that on the wall, and it's actually where I mounted it. It looks really cool, right above the kitchen sink, but high enough to where those pots are not gonna hit her face. But we had been talking about that, and for a while now, we've been talking about that because our big cupboard that has all our pots and pans, strainers, the lids to the pots and pans, they're all in one cupboard. That cupboard we weren't even able to close the cupboard anymore. So now I got this badass looking mount. You got the pots hanging. Maybe I'll take this. You know what? Maybe at the end of the stream, I'll take this camera because this is on a stick right here. And here's what I'm working with, man. And then at the end, I'm gonna show you the work I did. I'm very proud of it, and I know Romy is gonna be incredibly happy. Here is the other. Let me see. Here's the other camera. This is the one you're used to, but I have it way up, and I got to figure this out because this is natural lighting, but I'm not this pale. I am not this white. Maybe this is the Mexican Iron Man cam. Maybe this is the Mexican Iron Man cam. Mexican Iron, because he is Caucasian. But see, you see the difference. This is my, and I'm pale, right? Like it's the winter. I'm not getting a lot of sun, but I am not that type of pale, yo. I'm just not. I'm just not. Why you look? I know it looks blue. It's so I don't like it. That's. Let me see. Yeah, it's really weird because this light here, that's the natural sunlight. So, listen, it's not a big deal. My converting Caucasian, maybe the Caucasian slant. Uh, whatever, whatever. We come in all different shape, sizes, and colors. Okay, so what do we got here? And I just got a I just got a message from, oh my god. It looks like Romy and our dog Bandit have landed at their first stop. It's not it's a one stop, so she had a little layover. So it's a picture of Bandit not liking the 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 doggy, what do you call it? The doggy park. It's not even a park, it's a room at the airport. And he's like, screw this. I gotta show it to you guys. Hold on a second. I'm gonna show it to you guys. And then we'll start the countdown. Believe me. Also in the chat, you have a, what do you call it? A poll. You got that. So make sure you guys vote. And then we have us here. Listen, this is okay. That's Bandit on the bottom, right? And he's looking inside, and he's like, I want nothing to do with those dogs, with that fake ass grass. No way. There's no way. I want nothing to do with that. And Bandit's got his little holiday collar on, and it says harness. So yeah, that's the 411. They're at a layover. You know what? They're on a layover at a layaway dog park. Because look at that. That is like cheap as F. It's a room. And a big ass dog in there. Bandit is not gonna go in there. That's my little boy. He's not gonna go in there. Exactly. He's like, I am gonna hold it. Jen knows I will hold my pee-pee. Daryl Brewer's got to go. Daryl Brewer, great supporter of the channel. Much love to Daryl Brewer, member of the channel, Slantino. Happy New Year to you. And let me see. I have to take my little one to grandma's. Have a good day. Happy New Year to you, your little one, and your grandmother, and your whole familia. Orale. Okay. So let's I'm sure we just want Romy and Bandit back here safe. So they're gonna be here in about 5 hours. We don't need no stinking astroturf. Afroturf, oh my god. I'm gonna get canceled. So bad. Okay, so let us look at the poll. All right. And you got to be in the YouTube channel to participate in the live chat in YouTube because we are on Rumble. We are on X as well. Which of these films are your favorite films of 2024? Dune 2, Deadpool and Wolverine, The Wild Robot, and Nosferatu. Okay, full stop right now. Full stop right now. Raise your hand if you voted for The Wild Robot. Raise your hand if you voted for The Wild Robot. That is on my list right now. I want to know. We don't need no stinking ass. I just saw that. So, yeah, great film, Wild Robot, fantastic. Okay, so vote on there. Let's see what's happening on Rumble. We have four people now on Rumble. Hello, happy New Year, Slantinos on Rumble. It's cool, man. You know, we're like at 58 followers now on Rumble. Isn't that fun? Yeah, man. That's a lot of fun. Okay, so we have a combined viewership right now, 43 people hanging out with us. We're going to count down my favorite movies of 2024. We have, let me see. Hello, hello. People saying hello. Dune 2 was an utter disappointment. I still got to watch Wild Robot. I highly recommend. All right, so let's go to your starred comments before we officially start. Juliet says, Happy New Year, Feliz Año Nuevo, everyone. That means Happy New Year in Spanish. Yes, Julieta, Feliz Año. Prospero año y felicidad. Jacko is here. Latino Slant, Happy New Year to you and your family. Love from South Africa. Wow. Jacko, love back from Los Angeles, California. That's amazing. Happy New Year, my brother. Ron is right. Yes, he is. Mine was chill on purpose. Yeah. I got to see yesterday I did a Dune 1 and Dune 2 rewatch, and then I rewatched the movie called Challengers. So just to bolster up on my list. Hanging with Eric and Raf, I love Panrax. Man, it is real pretty, and I will show. I'm gonna get up at the end of this, and I'm gonna take that camera and show you guys. The Basco Scenarios here. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year. Jason Evangelista. Happy New Year, all. And Sanders says Dune 2 was an utter disappointment. Well, let's get to disappointments of 2024. Let's start there. You want to start? Yeah, let's start there. Okay. Doodaloo, and it's good to see it's Penny. Boosh is here. Toxic Waltz is here. He's saying Deadpool 3 was disappointing. You know what? There's a few people that said that as well. I had a blast watching it, but I get it, man. But great to see everyone. Great to see all you beautiful people here. Happy 2025. We made it, y'all. Okay, let's go with, and this is in no particular order, biggest disappointments of 2024. Now, to me, a disappointment is really there's a few movies here that it was no surprise that they sucked. I really shouldn't have those on here. Magical Negroes and Madam Web, I knew was going to be god awful, so I really wasn't surprised. It just kind of they like leveled up on how bad a movie can be. Magical Negroes was a movie where I wanted to leave. And because I have my channel and I'm doing reviews for you guys, I stayed. But God Almighty, I could not stand that film and I wanted to walk out. But I was with I was with Chris Gore, Dante, you know. I mean, that was just an awful experience, guys. So I didn't I the same thing with Madam Web was like, yeah, it sucked. It was stupid. I think the only the disappointment was that they weren't they weren't showing, the actress's best assets. The actress's best assets. But were the was I surprised that they were bad? No. Now, these other films, Joker 2, Amelia Perez, Drive Away Dolls, and Late Night with the Devil, I can honestly tell you I was very somewhat to very surprised that I didn't like them. And I, I'm just kind of bummed out about it. Let's work backwards, okay? So Drive Away Dolls, which stars Margaret Qualley, she also stars in The Substance. It is like a wannabe female raising Arizona. Had a great ensemble cast, including Billy Camp. You had the Coen brothers name behind it, but it had none. It had no memorable characters. In fact, I hated the two leads as far as the characters, and was disappointed because it just tried so hard to be different, and was just that was it. Yeah, I wasn't a huge disappointment, but I was like, all right. Late Night with the Devil. Um, I really enjoyed the first hour, but I just felt that it kind of just fell apart and just kind of labored its way towards an ending. It almost as if this would have been a fantastic 1 hour episode of like a Twilight Zone or an Outer Limits or even a Black Mirror. It's a great setup, and I love the lead actor. I was very disappointed that I didn't like it as a whole, and it wasn't just me. Uh, I watched it with Romy. I watched it with our best friend, and we paid I believe like is it $10 or $20 that the rental, because I wanted to give that movie and the independent filmmakers my money. I wanted to support it. But I know a lot of people love this film. In fact, Late Night with the Devil is on a lot of top 10 lists. And I get it. I get why. And I'm glad. I'm glad. I was just very disappointed with the ending. Amelia Perez. Amelia Perez is a huge disaster of a film. You had Selena Gomez, Zoe Saldana starring in it. Selena was literally miscast and did a very poor job, which surprised me. I don't care how they kind of tried to you know uh, talk the audience into liking her character or explaining away why Selena wasn't doing a good job. She just didn't prepare. That's just it. She didn't have time to prepare. You can tell. Zoe Saldana was okay. I think she might even get an Oscar nomination. I just didn't like the role. I didn't like the character. And then you had these really god awful musical numbers. Oh boy, it killed any. I want to tell you, it for me, it killed any uh, dramatic momentum that the lead character was building. I actually thought the lead actor and lead character was pretty good. Wasn't great. It did this movie definitely does not deserve all the acclaim it's getting, but I understand that, talking to a few Academy members in the last couple months, they were like, "Look, this isn't a great film, but we're being pushed to vote for it." Amelia Perez. You can watch it on Netflix. Joker 2. Joker 2 has got to be the biggest disappointment for a lot of us. And I think you saw the warnings well before the movie came out. But we still wanted to believe that Todd Phillips and company could pull something out as a unique, kind of different take on the Joker with musical songs. Well, it didn't happen. In fact, the musical numbers were lazy, if not uninspiring. Lady Gaga's casting was the same, and you know, the biggest disappointment is that Joker, the first one, was a one and done, and it was a brilliant piece, um, in how, you know, we can do a great movie for little money, and that's it. Let it be gone. Let it die. That's it. But the studios and Zaslav got greedy, they got hungry, and they threw a lot of money at Joaquin and Todd Phillips. And this is what they got. This is what we got. I think it was also too, at the end of the day, like a big fu to the fans. It's like, you know what? I'll do it, and I'm just gonna totally piss off, fans of the Joker, fans of even the first one. So those are my biggest disappointments. What are your big disappointments in the chat? I want to know. That'd be cool. 57 of you guys hanging out with us watching. I starred some of your comments. Let's get to some here right now. Dune 2 was an utter disappointment. I'm going to get to that, Sander, in my list, because it is in my list. It's hype on my list, but it actually got shot down quite a few, and I'll tell you why. Toxic Waltz. Nosferatu is my favorite film of the year. They announced the extended edition Blu-ray coming out. Not sure how much longer it will be. Yeah, yeah, it's up there, guys. It's up there on my list as well. Boosh. Big Lebowski, Fargo, No Country for Old Men, True Grit. Coen brothers are kind of known for compelling characters. Yeah, just a little bit. Blood Simple, Raising Arizona, The Hudsucker Proxy. I mean, these guys have been doing, quirky, Americana characters since the mid 80s. Right on. All right, let me see. Let's. Albert is here. What's up, Albert? Dune 2 should have been renamed French Horn Overdose. Mars Monkey Max. Joker wasn't a bad movie, but it wasn't great. Okay. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. I mean, if you got more out of it than I did, then I can't knock that. Okay. So I think we are ready to start our countdown. And then what we'll do is I have other lists. We'll like intertwine those countdowns. 64 of you guys combined in all our chats. We have a poll going on in our YouTube chat. Thank you guys for being here. Do me a favor, in any of the chats that you're in, YouTube, Rumble, and X, like the stream or dislike it. Honestly, or dislike it. We have 8 of you guys hanging out with us in Rumble. Say hello to us on Rumble. I will check your messages there intermediately. If you send me a PayPal, just let me know, because I'm not hooked into my email account right now at the moment. But yeah, why don't we get going with our list, guys? Okay, here we go. Number 20, Brahma Brahma Yugam. I think I spelled that wrong. I'm sorry. We're already messing up here. Get it right, Paul. Okay, this is number 20, and this is a film from the Malayalam industry in India. It is a black and white horror film set in the 1800s. It is very much like a Nosferatu, very atmospheric, very frightening, kind of stays in your bones after the fact you see it. I got to see it in a big screen. The lead actor is an Indian kind of icon. His name is Mammootty. He was devastating, just a creeper, man. Really fast, and this should be streaming hopefully in the next few months. It's no longer in theaters. I saw this movie last March, I believe, of 2024. A religious singer of a lower caste gets lost in the forest because he's fleeing some persecution and finds himself in a haunted castle. And unbeknownst to him, everyone who he encounters is dead or possessed. And there's kind of like these evil spirits from the forest that we encounter. I mean, it is amazing. And it's beautifully shot. There's no singing in this thing. There's no musical numbers in this. This is a very non-Bollywood type of film. In fact, because it's Malayalam, they call it Mollywood with an M. And this past year, Mollywood, Malayalam, these were the guys coming out with the most inventive, creative, and best stories from India. That is number 20 on my list, Brahma Yugam, starring Mammootty. All right, let's continue. Hope you guys are hanging out and enjoying this. Here we go. Number 19, Twisters. Wow. Okay. Let me tell you guys, I had a great time watching Twisters. I saw it on IMAX. We saw an advanced screening. We were lucky to see that on advanced screening. You know, uh, who was I with? With Lorena Creel, and she gave me her list yesterday. And this was high up on her list. And she says, there's nothing more American than a rodeo, fireworks, and a twister. I'm like, yeah, man. And it had a great country music soundtrack. You're seeing also too the coming of a new film star in Glenn Powell, because he's now doing those roles that Tom Cruise once inhabited, kind of like those American, kind of mavericky, lovable macho dudes. And Glenn Powell is quietly paving a way as the new guy. We thought it was going to be Chris Evans for a while, but it's Glenn Powell, and he is very charming in this film. The story is the story. Him and then Daisy Edgar Jones is a kind of a do-gooder scientist that wants to improve on forecasting um, twisters and all that stuff to save people. And they're fighting against an opposite team, and then they're on opposite sides, but then they're not at the end of it's a very simple story. It's very compelling, great special effects, kick-ass ride, kick-ass disaster film. That is number 19, Twisters. Liam has not seen Twisters yet. All right. Darth is saying sorry, but Deadpool Wolverine is lame as F. Hey, that's your opinion. I hear you. Read by Nature, I haven't seen the first film. Disaster films are a hard sell for me. Uh, the first one was, kind of like a 90s classic now with Paxton and Helen Hunt, the late, great Philip Seymour Hoffman. Had a great ensemble cast. This one has I think this is also going to be known for its ensemble cast because you had Glenn Powell, was there Daisy Edgar Jones, Anthony Ramos, and then David Cornsweet is in this. He plays a supporting character, and what's cool about that is when he was auditioning for Superman, he found out that he got the role on the set of Twisters, and there's footage of them celebrating. So that was pretty cool. All right, let us move on, shall we? Hope you're enjoying the list so far. Let's go to 18. Number 18, Deadpool and Wolverine. Well, I got to tell you, I saw this movie twice because I had a great time. And that is really the job of these movies, kind of, Twisters and Deadpool Wolverine, is to entertain you. I can nitpick apart the storytelling and maybe some of the aspects from the comics in Deadpool and Wolverine. But for a moment, Deadpool and Wolverine saved Marvel for a moment. And, from the over the top violence to the comedy, I was in. What I obviously, like a lot of you guys, loved were the cameos. Very special, hilarious, and just kick ass. Greatest cameo appearance, greatest reaction when I in the two times that I saw the movie is when Wesley Snipes walks into camera as Blade. I mean, that alone was worth it, man. That alone was worth it. So, fun time. Yeah, weak storyline, but it was highly entertaining. I'm agreeing with that, which is why I think it's so low on my list. But I gotta tell you, that being said, I saw it twice. I was entertained twice. It wasn't. It was rememberable. It was memorable enough for me to see it again and see it. But other films can't be said. Like Alien Romulus, I had a good time that one time, but it was a pretty forgettable movie, and I didn't go back and see it. So that's always my marker there. Okay, let's move on to number 17. Wow. Smile 2, number 17. And let's say this right now, okay? That Smile has a very recency clause for me. I recently saw Smile 2, and because it's now streaming. And I liked Smile with the first one, and I remember Romy liking it as well. This is a very heavy horror thriller household. That's Romy's jam, and it became more of my jam those last 9 years that we've been together. Yeah, and she knows horror. We were really impressed with this film. What a story, and what a performance. It's almost as if this role was written for a Lady Gaga type, because the character is a pop star who happens to get the smile-itis, and you know the terror continues there. The lead actress was fantastic. The twists were kept us on our seats, and yeah, this is probably the lowest. No, it's not the lowest. I mean, Brahma Yugam is a horror as well. I have a lot of horror on my top 20, whether it's from India or Mexico or the States. I have a lot of horror on my top 20 list, and this is one of them. This is one of them. I mean, I was really impressed, and I had a I was yeah. That's really all I can say about number 17. Okay, let's see what you guys. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on here. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. I know we got a super chat from Six. Let's bring it on up for $10. Thank you so much, sweetheart. When did you get that I Heart Acolyte tattoo on your arm? Let me see. This. Let me see. This one. This tattoo over here is my mom's name and a rose going through it. This is the big Day of the Dead tattoo, and it's got a skull, big skull right here. I Heart Acolyte is actually now tattooed on my butt, so no one's gonna be seeing that. Thank you so much for that super chat. And yeah, we do have a little super chat gold going on in the what do you call it? The this YouTube super chats. YouTube chat. God, I get so confused, man. So thank you all so much. 48 of you guys just hanging out in the YouTube stream. We also have uh, Rumble and X going on. Okay, Paulie has an acolyte tramp stamp. Shh. Quiet, guys. Man, come on now. Read by Nature Smile is another one I slept on. I used to like horror, but I'm sniffy about trying new horrors. To me, horror this year really made a step forward. I have a lot of horror on my list. You go on to say great fun that is carried by Hugh, Ryan, and good cameos. Has some flaws in the third act, but still a lot of fun. So that's the Deadpool one. Cool. Some of you guys are like, smile, no thanks. Jen says, I rewatched Fallen last night because of Smile and Smile 2. Remember Fallen, guys? With Denzel Washington? That's the same idea. Yeah. And it was a it was a kind of like a mischievous spirit, right? Like an evil spirit that jumped. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. And they always sang time is on my side. Yes, it is. Ooh, that was scary, man. All right, let's get back to our countdown now, guys. Let me see. What kind of design do we have? No, I like this one. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we're up to number 16. Number 16, juror number 2. Well, let's just whoa. Let me bring it back up. Number 16, juror number 2. Well, again, a very recent watch of mine that made the top 20. This is directed by Clint Eastwood. It might be his last film. This is, of course, starring Nicholas Hoult. It's a great ensemble cast featuring Toni Collette, J.K. Simmons, Cedric Yarborough. I mean, top to bottom, just stacked, very talented cast. Why did this make my list? They don't make movies like this anymore. They being Hollywood. And they also ignore movies that are still made like this. And what I'm talking about are movies that are about terrible circumstances that test that are a test of of this man's values and his principles and what we're willing to do to kind of live our lives. Man, it's a fantastic premise. I don't want to ruin it for you guys. I don't want to ruin the premise for you guys. It may seem like a very simple courtroom drama, but it's really about juror number 2, and that's Nicholas Holt's character. So, if anything, I would beg Hollywood to make more films like this. In again, you have your you have your diversity in the casting. You can check all those off, but you have a great compelling story that has such a great twist, and you just don't know how it's going to end. And speaking of the ending, wow, what an ending for juror number 2. Mephisto's movie reviews. It's a question of justice versus truth. I mean, it's a question of what is justice, because Colette's character is a lawyer who becomes a politician, and politicians have a different set of rules in regards to justice and truth. So yeah, man, I mean, trying to live a good life, trying to be a good man. And also too, which I thought was interesting, is that the lead character here, he's a recovering alcoholic. So there's a whole different set of principles that he's trying to practice every day. And what was interesting, if you remember in the movie, um, he's only in it a few times. It's Kiefer Sutherland plays his sponsor and as well as his kind of lawyer that gives him advice. Oh, it's so good, guys. It's excellent film. Juror number 2. Cool. Thank you, guys, for all being here. Let's do one more before we take a break and get to the chat and get to you guys. Okay, here we go. Number 15. Oh, Civil War. Civil War is number 15. What did I just do? Oh man, I'm going all over the place. Hold on, guys. Sorry about that. Try not to blow it here. All right. Okay, going back here, trying to get to number 15. Civil War. Okay. I had a great time with this film. I besides it being shot incredibly, it's incredibly cinematic. Saw it in the movie theater twice. It's riveting. It reminded me of those great '80s journalism, yeah, entrenched, embedded photojournalist movies from the '80s. Under Fire with Nick Nolte and Joanna Cassidy, and then of course Salvador. It really, right? You got El Salvador with the great James Woods, especially Wagner Mauta's character. That's the gentleman right next to Kirsten Dunst here. He was an adrenaline junkie with his photojournalism. The backdrop of the Civil War was kind of, whatever, right? But it wasn't. This movie is deceptive in its title because it's not about the Civil War of the warring factions in America at the time. It's a civil war on how far of these photojournalists and how far do they go to get the shot. Kirsten Dunst is a burnout award-winning photojournalist, and she takes on a young ingenue who's got the eye, who's got the photo bug, the photographic eye, and takes her under her wing. And it's really a road trip. They have a chance to interview the president, the sitting president, but they have to travel from, I believe, is it New York to Washington D.C. and all the stuff they kind of run along the way. So it's a road trip movie, and there's actually a lot of dialogue of these characters that take place in their van. So it's not like this war movie. There is that at the end, and it's kind of here and there a little bit, and and I actually think Alex Garland does a great job in not overdoing it with the uh, with the gratuitous violence and the action, because the first time we get to see some action is they're on the road and they ask if they can go in bed along with these rebel fighters. And it's not that you see the action and that you see the killings that these soldiers do. You're seeing it from these guys getting off and getting the juice from being there with the soldiers. And then they play a De La Soul song, and you're getting Alex Garland wants us to like get into the juice and they want us to get he wants us to get high with these characters, which I really appreciated. Which I really appreciated. Mm. And then finally, towards the end of the movie, they make it to Washington. Um, and there's this full-on battle sequence. And it was riveting. It was really well done. I would say that if this movie was like that the entire film, I wouldn't like the film. This is actually a very smart, great characters, great dialogue, a story to where the ending is, very, to me, got a great climax. Great climax. Okay, let's see what you guys are. I know starred. Bumpy Johnson is here. What's up, Bumpy? Civil War was sold as something it wasn't. They sold it on the political tensions of the day. Correct. As Paulie says, it's not about the Civil War, the political tensions that we've been dealing with. I mean, it's very little. The marketing totally sucked for this film. I did not appreciate the marketing, and you're absolutely right. Um, Bumpy, yeah, and they try to paint it as like, oh, it's Trump's America, and it's the liberals. I don't know. It was so dumb, but it's not in the movie, and it's so much in the background. It's so like not really clearly defined the sides. And I think that's the best thing about the film because it's about these characters. It's about these photojournalists and where they're at in different stages in the career, the relationships with each other, and it's a great journey that they go through on this road trip. Okay, cool. All right, guys. Let me see. Remember, guys, we have a poll going on in the chat. 58 votes. Love it. Deadpool and Wolverine is everyone's favorite so far of these four: Dune 2, Deadpool, Wild Robot, and Nosferatu. I got to tell you, man, I'm kind of disappointed not more people are not voting for for Wild Robot. That's all right. 40 likes. I love it. Get those likes up and going. I appreciate you all. Oh no, excuse me. 50 likes. Wow. 50 likes. Okay, let's see what else you guys have to say in the chat. As far as uh, Carlos Alfredo Lopez, Happy New Year, buddy. I have not seen Civil War and I don't think I will. Um, Honestly, it is definitely a worth watching if you have a really nice screen at your house and want to see some really good actors and some good characters. Uh, it, it's a lot better, and it's definitely not how it was marketed. Okay, cool. How are you on Rumble? All right, we still got people watching us on Rumble, and I'm gonna do something I haven't done yet. Is I'm gonna check my email. Okay, we're good on the emails. Remember, too, you guys can do the PayPal. Lord Thoth is a wrench hanging out with us. Other members: Donovan Bradford, Borgu, Read by Nature. Good to have you guys here. Sanders here with his wrench as well. Thank you all for hanging out with me. All right. Okay, so I said I would do another list here. So let me, and Lombardi's here. Hey, Lombardi, good to see you. Let me do the best Indian films that I saw this year. I didn't see as many Indian films as I saw the year before, but I did see quite a handful in the movie theaters. These are my favorite in the movie theaters. And we already talked about Brahma Yugam. We're going to talk about Kill and we're going to talk about Avesham because those are also in my top 20. Pushpa 2 did not make my top 20, but it's one of the best Indian films of this year for me. And I get it's a very commercial film from India, but man, it's so colorful. That lead actor is such a kick-ass actor, and it's very melodramatic, but the actors bought into it, into the story, and I bought into it. I really like the Pushpa character. He's a bastard child of a higher caste, So in one that's established, and it's his rise where he's rising through the ranks of this kind of mafia system of importing this very rare. I know it's going to sound silly. This very rare wood, sandalwood, red sandalwood, is actually a commodity that people smuggle, and so that's the backstory of this, right? But there's all these villains and great characters, and again, that's what India does so well, is that they love their heroes and they love their villains. So yeah, those are. I'm going to talk about Avisham and Kill soon, but that's Pushpa. Those are some of my favorite Indian films of 2024. Okay. Hanging out with you guys on a New Year's Day. I want to do a special stream to do a countdown of our top 20 movies that I loved this year. We're at number, I believe we're at 15 or 14. Toxic Waltz comes in. My two favorite older films this year were both William Friedkin films. Sorcerer from 77, To Live and Die in LA from 85. Loved them both. Was this your first time seeing those movies? Or were they a rewatch? Or are these like the first time I've seen these old movies? That's cool, man. Jen is coming in. Gotta go. See you later. By the way, I hope to get a wrench one day. Well, why don't we make you a wrench today? Today, let's make on New Year's Day Jen a wrench. Add as moderator. Go. It is done, my friend. Type in something now before you leave so you can see your wrench. Happy New Year, and thank you for all the love and support. Toxic says, yeah, first time. Wow, that's neat, man. I like watching old movies that I had never seen with actors that I know. So I just saw The Bostonians with Christopher Reeves, and it's from 1984. No, yeah. Around that time, and it's a James Ivory film, and he went on to do like Room with a View, those types of movies. The Bostonians, I highly recommend that movie. That movie was good. That was a cool little film, and you just saw Christopher Reeves just being so versatile. He plays a Southern lawyer. He's got the accent. You believe it. It's set in like the 1890s. Cool stuff. The Bostonians. Okay, and look who's here. Look who's here. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Rosa Para, our film critic from thelatinoslant.com. And she is also, she got quoted by Nosferatu. So it says like the best horror film ever made or whatever it was, The Latino Slant. That's Rosa. And that has been running on all of the Nosferatu's commercials. And we were just like, what? What? So yeah, we started running it down. This is a solo stream I'm doing. So what I'm hoping to do is, Rosa, have you on with maybe struggles in about a week or two. We can go over our list. Maybe even Robert Meyer Burnett as well. Okay, Borgu says very nice. I just want to thank you for such a wonderful YouTube content that you provide us each and every week. You and those like you are absolutely wonderful YouTubers to tune into. Thank you. Thank you, Brogu. We can rant and burn it down like the best of them, but I can't do that every day. I think I would be very unhappy if I did that every day, especially, and I know it's easy. It's easy, maybe, probably for the algorithm. I could get you know, um, tons more traction or whatever. I mean, I just can't do that. I can't do that. I mean, I will critique with the best of them, but we want to give you guys different content, different perspectives, and even different opinions. Even like with me and Rosa, as far as disagreeing on different movies or disagreeing from as far as perspective and on issues, but be adults about it. And I agree, positivity can be fun too. Yeah. Listen, when I think it also makes a rant or being unhappy with something much more special, much more powerful when it does happen. When you find someone ranting every week, it's like, dude, who hurt you? Who hurt you, boo? All right, we got a combined 65 people hanging out with us. We have a super chat goal. All we're looking for, oh, the goal ended. Okay, we got 1 out of 5. All right, that's cool. Listen, if you want to do a super chat, that would be wonderful. Any amount, it's cool. It's all good. It's all good. Let's get back to our list though. Let's get back to our list. We're at number 14. Here we go. Another horror film, Heretic, starring the great Hugh Grant and newcomer Sophie Thatcher. I love Sophie Thatcher. Okay, man, this is another recent watch for me as well. Okay. Um, Obviously, this was very creepy. It was well done. I didn't know what was coming next just because of the performance of Hugh Grant and how mistrusting, charming, off-putting, and then dangerous Hugh's character was the entire time. He was the reason to watch. You're just like, oh my God, what's going to happen next? But then also, too, which I think is really interesting. See, the premise is two younger women from Church of Latter-day Saints come on a house call to recruit Hugh Grant's character into um, into the religion. And what starts off as a very kind of like non, you know, threatening situation, and I don't just mean physical, right? I'm talking about more of an emotional, spiritual, and intellectual, uh, uh, threat. It just grows and grows as the conversation between Hugh Grant and these two women, continues. And I was really, really impressed with just how intelligent this damn film is. And then to do that, to for it to be kind of like, I don't want to say like it's not like a high end, horror film, but then it leans on its religious overtones right at the end. Beautiful ending. I really again, we had a great time watching this film. A lot of horror in my countdown. The performance of Hugh Grant alone kind of elevates, which is basically a simple story that makes it special, and it makes it a really great film. Okay, it's a gripping film. Hugh's performance and the two female leads really carry the movie. It's all them. It's all them. Critical was a little more critical. Heretic was all right. Great premise. And Bush was Heretic was okay, a bit long-winded in its preaching. I can't really agree with that, my friend. I can't really agree with that. When he calls blatant theft, I call evolution, adaptation, inspiration. Man, Bush, I got to tell you, what made it so special and bumpy. You guys are going off in the chat about this. Okay, this is good. The issue is lack of actual story and interesting events. Hugh Grant provides a good performance, but I wasn't impressed by content it presented. I completely disagree. What makes this movie so compelling is that it's just people talking. Now, we complain all the time that There's nothing original comes out of Hollywood. They don't have great characters. They don't have great storytelling. Great storytelling, great characters doesn't mean that it has to travel all to these exotic locations, or you got to do, you got to go to these, physical lengths, different, uh, expansive timelines. No, you can just sit with someone and argue and disagree, which turns into a very creepy situation just with people sitting drinking tea. Oh, I was hooked, line and sinker. Listen, I get it, but we need these types of films. Not every horror film can be about running down the slasher stuff. This is a really heady, fantastic. Um, yeah, exactly. My Dinner with Andre of horror. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. This was a brilliant film. Okay. Anyways, that's my number 14. And Brogu, he's a member of the channel for $1.99. Happy New Year to you, Paulie, and chat. Happy New Year to everyone. Thank you so much. We'll be right back. All right, let's continue with our countdown. We're at number 13. The Fall Guy, number 13th. Okay. I love The Fall Guy. Here's why. We need escapism. Big scale escapism, stunts, action, charm, romance, humor, comedy. The Fall Guy had it all. It has it all. I saw it twice. The second time I took my mom to see it, she loved it. She loved it. Oh, I had a fantastic time with this. And of course, yes, it gives a big salute to the stunt community in Hollywood. It's the second time I saw it, I was laughing more at a lot of the dialogue of the jokes that I missed. Great cast: Aaron Taylor Johnson, Emily Blunt, of course Ryan Gosling. Just a lot of fun, guys. This is just a lot of fun. I mean, the dog. Oh my God, Attaque. Was it? What was the dog's name? Saint Pierre, Jean Pierre, Attaque. And then you had the stupid karaoke montage with Phil Collins. This was a lot. Did I say it's a lot of fun? It's a lot of fun. You know, I think the only thing right is that it costs way too much money. I think it was considered a flop commercially. That's fair because it was made for too much money. So I had a great time with the Fall Guy. Really not gonna apologize for that. A lot of the bottom 10, if I can say bottom 10, are your big action flicks that where you're just having a lot of fun, right? Fall Guy. What were my other ones? Deadpool and Wolverine and Twisters. This one though, I just had a better. I just had a great time at the theater, and someone was asking me, "We're here, Fall Guy above Juror number two." It, I can't compare them. I didn't see Juror number two in the theater. Juror number two didn't stay with it. Stayed with me differently than Fall Guy. So on just on escapism and Hollywood flexing that it can entertain us. That's why Fall Guy is number 13 for me. My friend Mr. Mephisto. Bumpy Johnson says, Paulie, you're always a great watch. Hey, man, thanks. I tried to do a top 5 films for myself. I struggled to get to 3. I saw 23 movies this year, according to my letterbox. Hey, dude, that's totally fair, Bumpy. That's totally fair. And listen, If there's a movie that I can recommend and you like it or don't like it, come back to me. Say, "Oh, I like The Long Game. Oh yeah, I saw Millennium Bugs." You know, or "You're wrong, Paulie." That's fair too, man. I'm not here to we're here to recommend and kind of share, and really that's it. We're not here to you know definitely not here to judge people for liking or not liking something else. That's just silly. Read by Nature, Fall Guys, a lot of fun. Chase scene with the truck was great. And I think the lot of little moments, people were talking about how the Ryan and Emily Blunt had no chemistry. I'm like, what movie did you see? I thought they were delightful with each other and had all this like really cute dialogue, falling in love, going to get margaritas and all that stuff. It was adorable, man. It was a lot of fun. Okay, let's move on. We are at number 12. Number 12 is probably a movie no one heard of. It's called Kill. OMG. Kill, it is the Die Hard on a train. It is relentless in the action. It is relentless on the vengeance. It is relentless on this hero who's a soldier, a state soldier, in avenging those he's lost along the way. It is also so creative in its filmmaking because, like, again, I said, this movie was filmed on a train and it doesn't stop. Wow. We loved this movie. Saw it in the theater. This is probably one of the best action movies of the year, one of my favorite Indian films. And here's another thing, guys, too. This is another sell for you guys if you're hesitant about Indian films. Okay, two things. There's no singing or musical numbers in Kill, and there's not a lot of dialogue. So you're not going to get lost reading the subtitles. You're going to connect right away with this lead character who basically saves the all the innocent people on the train from the bad guys. That's his goal. There's a lot of other things going on. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but go and seek this movie out. It is called Kill. It blew me away in the movie theater. It absolutely blew me away. And everyone in this movie is fantastic. I believe this is the lead's first movie. I couldn't believe it. And physically, he is the man. He is the man. Bootzilla is here. Kill was awesome. At about 45-minute mark, it gets real. Oh my god, it gets real, dude. And there's a lot I'm leaving out because how do you sustain this? Well, you sustain it because you up the tragedy. You up the tragedy, and that's what this movie did. So this is called Kill. I highly recommend it. Again, don't be dissuaded by the language barrier. There's not a lot of dialogue. It is pure action. It is, and for lack of better words, Die Hard on a train. But she's saying it's sort of like The Raid on a train, but a little more violent, a lot more violent. Um, yeah, I mean, I think both are good comparisons. Absolutely. Ooh, I love that. Never heard of that one either. Kill. So there you go. Good. I'm glad. And that's the thing, guys. You're going to see a lot of familiar movies from other top, other people's lists. But you know me and the movies that I go and see. So I'm not going to like do like the same list as everyone else. Like this is a very eclectic list. My tastes are eclectic. Take it or leave it. And if there's a new movie, we're like, I love Kill, man. I loved Brahma Yugam, or I loved The Long Game. The cool. Then I've done my job. I've done my job. Hey, our old buddy is here, and I don't say old because he is a gringo viejo. He's also a ranch of the channel. He's got a great channel himself. That 70s rock fan. Happy New Year. I hope Twilight of the Warriors is in this list. Oh, it's not. That was a very good film. That was a very good film. Um, yeah. Oof. That was a very fun movie, man. Twilight of the Warriors. Oh God. What was it? The Walled City. The Walled City. Ah, it's a good film, man. Okay, let's move on with our list. Mm, mm. Okay, Robot Dreams. This is one of a few animated films on my list this year. I had the I had the pleasure of seeing this movie on the big screen earlier this year. I believe it came out to a wider release in May. I love this film. I cried in this film. I was inspired in this film. And again, this movie is there's very little to no dialogue. It's a story about a. It's set in the 80s of New York City, but it's a dog planet, like a doggy universe. And this dog buys a robot so he can have a friend. It's about friendship. It's about what we do for our friends. And it's so charming. Absolutely loved Robot Dreams. It'll make you smile. It's very well done. The animation is great. It's again, it's set in the 80s of New York, but a little doggy universe. It stays with you, and I think I think with my list, because people are like, oh, that movie or that movie, that movie or that movie, guys. It's just a matter of what stayed with me the most, the rewatchability, and where it lives inside of me. This went right to my heart, and it's so damn cute. So yeah, yeah. There is no dialogue. Yeah, I like. There's some sounds, right? Toxic Waltz. It's been a few months since I've seen it again. It is available on Hulu in the U.S. Cool. Robot Dreams, number 11. Okay, are you ready for my top 10? Are we ready? Let's you know what? Let's share another list. Let's see. Let me see. There's no dialogue. You're correct. Good to see you guys here. 72 combined hanging out on X and Rumble. And I hope everyone is doing well. Thank you guys for also too um, retweeting this on X. Very cool. It's Courtney, Latinos in Media, Latinos in Movies. Their account has retweeted me in my list. Thank you so much. Speaking of, let's get to that. That's a good one to get to. Let's get to my best Latino films of 2024. And the criteria is very simple. Is Latino themed, whether the background or if it's a direct kind of storyline of people that happen to be Latino, and or if it's Spanish language or Latino directed, etc., etc. And here are my top films under that criteria: Los Frikis, The Coffee Table, The Long Game, Where the Tracks Ends, and Pedro Paramo. Wow. Okay, let me just talk about two of these films because these other films are in my top 10. Let me put it like that. Okay. Let's talk about Where the Tracks End. It stars Adriana Barranza, I believe that's her last name. She is a very popular actress in Mexico, older lady. You might have seen her as the grandmother in Blue Beetle. She plays a teacher, and it's in Spanish. This film, it's set, I believe, in the 50s or 40s of Mexico. The timeline kind of escapes me, But basically, it shows how this teacher teaches a migrant community of children, and their parents are uh, minors, I believe. Trying to remember, but she shows that she teaches in the gift of education. And what's cool is that you have one of the kids who comes back as an older man, and he works for the government, and he's got to shut down the school. Sucks, man. Wonderful story. Great family film for your entire family. That's a plus. And there's some comic book uh, um, nostalgia and mentions in the story, which I loved as well. So that's a sweet movie with a very kind of like mainstream storytelling approach. Stars also one of my favorite Mexican actors, Memo Villegas, who usually does comedy, but this is more of a straight role for him. Okay, ooh, Pedro Paramo. Wow, this is a recent watch. It's also on Netflix. It debuted on Netflix. I think I would have liked to have seen this in a big screen because it is the first directing job by what's the gentleman's name? Let me get the director's name. It stars Pedro Paramo, and it is directed by the great Rodrigo Prieto, who is an award-winning cinematographer in Hollywood. It stars Tenoch Huerta and what's the gentleman's name? Manuel Garcia Rulfo. Okay, Manuel Garcia Rulfo is Lincoln Lawyer. He's the lead in Lincoln Lawyer. So it's great to see him acting in his native Spanish language. And then Tenoch Huerta was Namor. And again, it's great to see these guys act in their native Spanish language. Juan Pedro Paramo is the most bizarre out of well, that's not even true, right? It's just it is the birth of magical realism. The book was written in the 50s. It is considered one of the greatest Mexican novels. It inspired Gabriel Garcia Marquez to write 100 Years of Solitude. It is an absolute mind tripping experience to watch. It's beautifully shot. The storytelling, if there's a way to describe it to you guys, is where a young man goes back to the hometown of his mother to find out about his father. Now, here's the catch. Here's the catch. Everyone's dead. So you could say on certain levels this is a ghost story. This is a haunting story, but it is also a very Mexican story that gets into the identity of how Mexicans view life and death. And this is the OG of OGs, Pedro Paramo. I mean, I read this book in college, and I was not disappointed. It's one of those films where it's just like, and we'll get to like Dune. We'll get to Dune, where it's a film adaptation of a beloved novel that you've known for decades. Oh man, they can't do it. They can't do it. Rodrigo Prieto, he did it, and it was a big undertaking, and I was very impressed. I need to see that. I want to see. I would love to see this as a retro showing on a big screen in the years to come, because I need to see this on the big screen. I need to see this on the big screen. Again, I can't tell you how beautifully shot this is. It is heavy. The themes it deals with are very tragic. This is not a family friendly story at all. In regards to the heavy adult subjects. So be warned on that. But it is riveting. That is Pedro Paramo, best Latino films that I got for you guys. Okay, cool. All right, what do you guys? Get some water. Mm. All right, what are you guys saying in the chat? Toxic Walls want to watch Lost Classics. That's under 90 minutes. Check out Miracle Mile, 1988. Andy Edwards picks up a payphone that's ringing and turns out to be the guy on the other end had the wrong number. Miracle Mile refers to a district in LA by the La Brea Tar Pits. That's a cool little film. I remember that. It's been years, but I remember that. Osvaldo Lopez is here. Hey, Vatos Locos, 2025. Here we are. May the power of La Raza. Wait. Oh, okay. May the slant continue to show power of La Raza to the world. Well, we just had a nice little Latino films for everyone to check out. And thank you for being here. Brian, that 70s rock fan, he's a great actor. He should be getting the roles Pedro Pascal keeps getting. Which one are you talking about? You're talking about Manuel Rufo? Yeah, he really is. Did you see Pedro Paramo? He's good in the Lincoln Lawyer, but this movie, man, because Pedro Paramo is not a nice guy. In fact, he is, you could say, the reason why the destruction of the town happens. He's an evil guy. It is it's an amazing story, amazing character. Cool. Okay, guys, we have that poll going on. What I'm going to do is I want to make sure you guys have voted. 70 people voted. Thank you guys so much. Miracle Miles on Prime, he says. Okay, I shall return. I'm going to play a video, but I do need to take a moment, and I'll be right back.
Estas son las mañanitas que cantaba el rey David. Hoy por ser día de tu santo, te las cantamos aquí. Despierta, mi bien, despierta. Mira que ya amaneció. Ya los pajarillos cantan, la luna ya se metió. ¡Felicidades!
And we are back. Yeah. So it's never just one thing, right? I had to use the little boy's room. I had to let the dogs out. I had to stretch, and I had to grab a banana. I'm a little famished. I'm a little famished guy. So thank you. Yes, I. What the heck? Paulie has gone to shake hands with the unemployed. Wow. Well, make sure you wash your hands, man. Mm. 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 What are you guys saying in the chat with the baseball theme? No, okay. I don't know. You guys are recommending movies in the chat. I love it. Okay. We are going to get back on our list. We got 10. We got 10 left. 76 votes. Thank you guys for voting. Ooh, look who's here. The lovely Nadia is here. Hello, sweetheart. How you doing? Nosferatu, number 1. She's got a great channel. Yeah. And I got to meet Nadia this past year. How cool was that? Yeah. Very, very blessed, man. I'm very blessed. Very blessed this past 2024. And Penny, and to all the wonderful Slantinos, I wish you all a 2025 of good health. Good health. I am going to be 55 this year. That is crazy. That is crazy. Well, I talked about it earlier in the stream. Was very low key because Romy has been out of town. She gets into town in about 5 hours. And what's good is also too is that the house is pretty much clean and ready for her arrival. So we were very chill. I was watching a lot of movies, kind of like making sure I actually made a change to my top 5 after watching Dune 2. You know, so yeah. Okay, well, let's continue. Let's add this to the stream. We are now at number 10. Robot Dreams was number 11. Here we go with number 10. And it's probably another film you hadn't heard of, which is good. Here we go. Number 10, Avisham. Wow. Okay, all right, all right. Let me give you a little background here. Avisham, right? Again, Malayalam. It's not a Bollywood film, but it's high energy, and there are some incredible dance numbers in this. However, let's talk about the story. Avisham is basically 3 kids in college who are brutally bullied by other kids in college. They have the idea. Let's go befriend a local gangster to protect us. And that's exactly what happens. And the gangster is played by this gentleman here that you see in the photo, Farad Faisal. They call him Fafa, I believe. That's his nickname. He's one of the up and coming actors. He was also in Pushpa. He is like the Energizer Bunny. This role, don't get it twisted either. He is like almost like a pint-sized Tony Montana of the town that will do anything now to protect these boys. But also he gets the boys in a little bit of trouble because remember, they are students. It is such an insane premise. It is so much fun. Now, there's a little bit of whimsy, a little bit of hyper reality, almost like a kung fu hustle in regards to the fighting choreography is so badass that at the end of the first there's only one intermission, but right before the end of the intermission, man, these guys go on a kick-ass spree because they finally get some avenge. They find the kids that are being bullied finally get some revenge at the end of the first act, and it's so much fun. So it's like My Bodyguard from the 80s. Yeah, but think of the mindset of like, well, if your bodyguard was Tony Montana with a Bollywood soundtrack, I mean, this movie is spectacular, and it's beautiful, beautifully shot. It is just it is one of the most original things that I've seen all year. I mean, I saw this what 6 8 months ago, and when I rewatched it. I saw it in the movie theater. I was fortunate enough. I traveled and watched it, uh, but I did see it again on. I believe it's streaming now. This movie's so different. It's got a lot. Again, it's got the vibes of your kind of like the it's got a good the premise is where it's like let's befriend a, a local you know gangster. He'll protect us. But then it's got those elements of a hyper reality. The comedy is on point. I, you know, yeah, it is like Kung Fu Hustle. I said that earlier, but not as spastic as Kung Fu Hustle. But there's elements of it. So his gang, they do the killing, and but the gang are almost kind of like Keystone Coppers. They're almost they're kind of they're like your friendly neighborhood gangsters. But they it's very charming. It is a true original film, and I believe it is the highest rated Indian film in my top 20. That is Avisham. Okay, let's move on. Number 9, Horizon, an American Saga, Chapter 1. Well, I saw this film twice in theater, and I took my mom to see it the second time. And I understand why the movie flopped. But I also fell hook, line, and sinker with Costner's vision and his storytelling, and a setting the world up in that we're all Americans here, forging just a new world. And it was so fascinating. It's a fascinating watch. I cannot wait for part 2. Um, it tells the story of this town called Horizon, and it being built, and then being taken away, and then it being built because Horizon USA is Indian territory. So there's a lot of problems there with that. And there's a lot of point of view of the natives there, which is really cool as well. No one's a good guy here, right? And again, huge cast, sweeping story that Costner knows how to do well. Um so yeah, it's such a cliffhanger that it's like, okay, I need my part 2. I need my part 2. This movie really fills up a big screen. Yeah, it's just incredibly majestic. Um, Here's an interesting thing too, is that Kevin, his character doesn't show up like he shows up like in the second hour, which I thought was cool as well. You got Sam Worthington. You have all these great characters, man. So yeah, um, this is a great American tale. I it it made me very very connected to like our American uh connective tissue, and it's just like so many different people from all over the world, and then the natives made this land what it is today. So I was just like, wow, this is great. This is fantastic. Okay, Bumpy Johnson. Horizon lost points for me on a few fronts. Long movie, very little story progression, some reliance on big vision, other films. Now, We have no idea when part two is coming out. Great performances. Um, I would I would say I'm a sucker for a long story when there's like so many great characters and great setup. I love the story progression, but I hear you, man. I hear. I mean, there's so many great stories. Jenna Malone's her running away from the baby daddy. Oh, she was a great she. So there's all these different stories happening. It really is an ensemble piece. It's not just about Kevin's character. In fact, you could say he was very much just a co-star. So that is my number 9. Okay, I see that Osvaldo has sent me a PayPal chat. Let me get to that after I get through number 8. Okay, cool. Thank you for that. Yeehaw! Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, now the long game, number 8. Again, just like Horizon, this isn't a true. This is like the American underdog story. We have the American underdog story now, right? Set in the 50s, true story, South Texas, Mexicans that were Americans couldn't golf at the white golf course. What are you going to do? Those were the times. So Jay Hernandez takes upon himself to teach these kids golf at a golf course they built themselves. At the golf course they built themselves. Dennis Quaid is in it. They play war veteran buddies. So you're dealing with two main characters that are war veterans from World War II. Jay's character has post traumatic, and how does he deal with it? He plays golf. How does he deal it when his nightmares are bad? He whacks the shit out of a golf ball against a mattress in the backyard. This is a wonderful tale. Uh, Jenna Lee Ortiz is also plays Jay Hernandez's wife. She's wonderful. Then you have the kids who are like these 50s generation of Mexican Americans that are a little more rebellious than the generation before and don't want to be told that they can't go anywhere. They can't do this just because of the color of their skin. They're like, nah, screw that. We're gonna do our thing. We're gonna, you know what? You don't want us to be, you don't want us, we can't golf at your golf course that we are also the caddies at, because they're the caddies at the golf course, right? They're the caddies at the golf course, but they can't golf there. They're like, all right, we're gonna go make our own golf course. So there's 3 generations, and I talked about this in my review a few months ago. And this is on Netflix right now, guys. There's 3 generations of Mexican Americans that we're dealing with here. You don't see it in the poster here, but the oldest generation is Cheech Marin. And Cheech is a World War I veteran. And he is that kind of like the old caddy of the golf course. He's wonderful in this. And Cheech was saying to Jay, you think your generation had it bad. It's like each generation, right? Things are getting better, but hey, we had it worse the generation before you. And guys, this is not also to a, hate the white man movie. Dennis Quaid is fantastic in it, and it doesn't come from that lens. It comes from a lens of we just are underdogs. You're going to cheer for us. We're going to win this golf championship. Great movie. And here's another reason why it's great. It's independently produced, independently distributed. No big Hollywood studio backed this movie. They got it done themselves, and was just really impressed. Lovely story. Uh, I love movies that it's all in English. It's all in English. In fact, there's a great scene where the kids who are Mexican Americans, they take the boat over to Juarez, and they try to connect with the Mexicans at this bar, and the Mexicans at this bar hate them. Said, go back to the States. We want nothing to do with you. You ain't Mexican. Oh, it was so good. It was so good, guys. So again, it's not just about like, brown versus white or, that's history, right? It historically happened. But it's also too about the different generations of being Mexican American and also how they weren't really accepted there either. Great stuff, guys. Great stuff. Bumpy said, yeah, Dennis Quaid probably wouldn't do a Hate the White Man movie. His son Jack seems to be has different politics though. Dennis wouldn't, man. And this is the second movie Dennis has worked with Julio Quintana, the director. Julio Quintana has directed him in two movies now. So this is their second movie that they have done. Hey, Luke is here. Our buddy is here. Tomas, Happy New Year, man. Honestly, I will say that Conclave is one of my favorite films of the year. Um, the only reason why it's not on this list, I didn't finish watching it. Ugh. The first half hour, I mean, I was like, this is great. But I didn't finish watching it. Then that's another thing with my countdown is I didn't see every film out there. Didn't see Conclave, didn't finish it. Honora, The Brutalist, all these films that are being talked about. There's a lot I didn't see. A lot of these dramas I didn't see. I want to see The Brutalist, but it's good to have you here. I think Dune 2 is good. It's not making my top of the year. I think everyone's going to be surprised at where Dune 2 lands on mine, but it's great to have you here. Let me get over to my email and to our PayPal. You can PayPal me. And Osvaldo did. He sends me $5. He says, what'd you think of Skeleton Crew episode 6? None of the Disney shills are reviewing the show, but channels like Theory and Meg are giving it good reviews. Okay, let me copy and paste your chat. First of all, thank you for the PayPal super chat. Always goes, these PayPals, we get that money directly. And I appreciate you, Osvaldo. So it says, did that go through? Oh, wait a minute. That's the wrong one. Hold on, guys. It's the wrong. It's copy and pasting, man. I'm trying to do this on my own. Let me see. Give me a second, guys. Okay, there we go. Again, Osvaldo asks, what did you think of copy and paste post? Okay. Lord just saw it. He says, just watch episode 5. Cool lightsaber. Episode 5 I saw. I haven't seen the latest one. Episode 5 was wonderful. And yeah, he does something funny with the lightsaber. Whim. So funny. Can you post your PayPal? Yeah, let me get it to you. Give me a second. Thank you, Tomas. And you're Tomas here, by the way. Latino slant. None of the Disney shows are reviewing the show, but channels like Theory and Meg are giving it good reviews. I love Star Wars Meg. I'm trying to get her on the channel. I think, she's very apprehensive. I get it, man. A lot of people, went after her or they go after Theory sometimes. I think all that stuff is so juvenile, man. We got to stop that stuff. The fact that Meg and Theory loved it, I got to tell you, the last episode. So I haven't seen 6 yet, but I will review it. The last episode I loved, and I loved all 5 episodes are just building up really well. This is the best TV show in Disney's Star Wars. Andor's good, but Andor's very serious. It's very down. It's very, So yeah. Okay, so thank you so much. Episode 5 was fun. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And that's we need a lot of fun in our Star Wars. We need a return to fun. Okay, hey Lord, let me get my PayPal link. It's taking me a second. Of all the things that I did not have ready to go, it's the PayPal link, but Osvaldo got it. I have to grab it from another source really quickly. Okay, I got it. Here you go. I'm going to copy. Oh, good Lord. Undo changes. I'm going to copy, press copy, don't press paste. Now I'm going to go into boom. There you go. And I am going to spin it. Great. Thank you all for being here. 28 people hanging out in our YouTube. 64 of you guys collectively hanging out. YouTube, Rumble, and X. Thank you all so much. There is the PayPal link if you want to hit us and throw us a PayPal. Rumble, you guys are hanging out. I love it. Thank you all so much. Okay, we're getting through our... What number are we on? Number 7. Oh, let's get this going, man. Let's keep it going. Wild Robot. Okay, number 7. Well, this should be a little higher. It should be a little higher. This is a phenomenal film, phenomenal story. The acting work. Lupita Nyong'o is the lead. Pedro Pascal plays the voices, the bird, I believe. This is basically a story of being a foster parent and what that means and what family means, what relationships mean, and what do you do? How far do you go? Or what lengths do you go for those you love? For someone you raised? This is an incredible story. I mean, yeah, the animation is gorgeous. Some of the stuff is like, wow, where do they get the imagery from? Where do they get that from? But at the heart of this story is a very relatable message of family. And I'm not gonna lie, man. I wept. Beautiful movie for the whole family, for sure. Story for it's very inspiring. And I know it's one of Chato's favorites movies of the year. Paul Chato's favorites movie of the year as well. There's enough I can't say about this film. So yeah, that is Wild Robot. Anyone see Wild Robot? As I'm trying to find my... Where am I? There I am. Is Wild Robots Paulie's pick for winner best animated film at the Oscars? Chris Gore and Alan seem to have it top of their list. What are the other ones? I don't know what the other ones are, but this is tops. This is tops for sure. Lord liked a 7 out of 10. That's good. 7 out of 10 is good. Paulie, have you seen Wicked yet? I have not. That's why it's not on my list. Toxic Walls. Wild Robot was solid. It's DreamWorks animated film. So after its stint on Peacock, it goes to Netflix. Not sure if it's still on Peacock or when the Netflix date is. Oh, okay. Thank you for that information. I see you've been dropping all where they're streaming, and that's wonderful. We will have this video that I've created here of the top 20. I'm gonna upload it as a separate video, and then I will put in the video box. I will put where they are streaming or where they're not. Some of these films are not streaming yet. Most importantly, Wild Robot did not cost hundreds of millions of dollars, so it wasn't a billion or bust. I mean, it looks like $1 billion. It is a gorgeous film. Okay, let's move on. We're getting there, man. Number 6. What do we got? Los Frikis. Los Frikis. Well, as I have my Los Frikis t-shirt right there. Los Frikis is an American produced film. It is American directors who decided to do a Spanish language true story about Cuba in the 90s. It's a very difficult subject matter, but it's also one that will stay with you. This woman that I put up, even though she's not the lead, she's probably the only recognizable actor from the cast. Her name is Adria Arjona. She was in Andor. She's the female lead to Diego Luna's character, and she's been in Hitman. She's been in a lot of films. She's a female lead, and she's wonderful in this movie, and she's also executive producer. Now, you've seen a lot of independent and a lot of big name actors promoting Los Frikis because this movie took 6 years to get to the big screen. It tells a story of a group of Cuban punk rockers, degenerates, as you can imagine, true punk rockers were at that time in Cuba, because Cuba at that time had outlawed rock and roll music. You could not perform rock and roll music without going to jail. So they would have to perform their music, their concerts, outlawed tunes underground. Life was so bad for it's a story of two brothers. The older brothers is the punk rocker here. I make myself big. So this is the older brother who becomes kind of like a famous punk rock legend, underground legend, and him and his younger brother have such a bad life that they're forced to eat off the streets. He can't take it anymore, so he's hearing about uh, uh, a dire situation that is happening, and where you can go and live in a very nice farm, taken care of, all that stuff, because medically you're HIV positive. So in the 90s, a bunch of Los Frikis injected themselves with the HIV virus so they can go and live and have a roof over their heads and have medicine and have food on the table and can live. This is a true story, one that really haunts me and blew me away. The brothers, the young brother who's really the lead, Eros de la Puente, the lead actor, he's just wonderful because he's growing up in the situation where they find some solace there on the farms of this utopia, but it's not lasting. And Adria's character is the caregiver of the land. Like she's almost like everyone's, den mother. Everyone's den mother in a sense. Uh, it's a wonderful film. Again, it's an incredible story. And the lead, this lead actor, the kid, by Eros de la Puente, is it's heartbreaking, man. It's really heartbreaking. So that is Los Frikis, a Spanish language film. Filmed, they filmed it in the Dominican. A lot of the kind of architecture they mimicked parts of Havana, and then the rest of it was basically done on a farmland. Absolutely amazing, wonderful film. Los Frikis. Toxic Wall says, yeah, these dudes did the Peanut Butter Falcon 2019. That one was solid. Yeah. And the directors, it's two dudes. They're very passionate. They're very real. So whenever they do a movie of the subject, it's very special. So you're seeing a lot. They got a lot of big time connections in the business, from Jason Momoa to the Duplass brothers to all these other stars promoting the film for them. This is like a true social media only marketing, because it's not a big budget film at all. That is number 6, guys. Right. All right. So I believe, let me see. Got the final 5 coming up. And thank you all so much for being here. You guys have been amazing. Make sure you are voting. Well, I want to check. Let me see. We did best Indian, best Latino, best display. Honorable mentions. Let's do the honorable mentions. Um, these didn't make it in the top 20, but I really enjoyed them. They were different. They're unique. Or there were a cool take on a familiar story. City of Dreams is like that Sound of Freedom, but it's told from the child's perspective. So it's a very heavy film, very well done if you can catch it. That's in Spanish as well. Actually, it's in English too, because you have Jason Patrick who's in it, plays a LAPD cop, and they go back and forth between English and Spanish. Renata Vaca, who we interviewed, she's in the film. Very heavy, very well done. Quiet Place, day one, man, great, great drama, great action, great creatures, great fun, great female lead. I love that film. Problemista. Problemista is a quirky, uh, strange comedy. It's not for everyone, but man, is it really original. And it stars Julio Torres, who's done a lot of quirky work in the past, and he's got a look out for him. But it's called Problemista. That's in English, I believe. So, oh, you know what? You know who's in Problemista? She steals the show. Tilda Swinton plays his immigration sponsor, because he's to stay in the country. He's got to find a sponsor and a job, because he loses a job and he loses the whole thing, his work visa. She is a riot. Oh my god, she is a riot. She was very funny. And then Bad Boys, man. Bad Boys. Will Smith got the flex again. Martin Lawrence got the flex again. Yeah, we needed that entertainment earlier in the year, and it came at a great time. Those are my honorable mentions. Okay, let's see where you guys are at. Everyone say hello. Osvaldo says Flow's another great animated film. I heard about that. Haven't seen it. Let's get back to our top 20. We're on the top 5 now. You guys ready? I'm trying to move this here. What is going on? There we go. Number 5. Here we go. Okay. Number 5, Dune Part 2. This, for a long time, was higher on my list. But upon watching it again, and maybe it's because I did see it in the cinema twice. This is cinematic wonder. It's whatever it wins as far as technical, it deserves. It really is, technical wise, audio, visual, sonic, all that. Just an amazing thing to experience as far as in the theater, in a huge screen. Now, was that a 1 or 2 for a while? But I had seen it again a few months ago, and then I saw it again like 2 days ago. And I'm like, you know what? Here's another thing I've been doing the past year. Well, and I do this, I go off and on. I've been listening to the audiobook of Dune a lot. And I'm just not down with how Villeneuve has changed this film. I mean, he's changed these stories so much that even this promotion of of the image you see here with Paul Atreides and Chani together, that's just like no. No, no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I saw that with each repeated watch that I'm like, okay, this is not really how Paul Atreides is written. And this is definitely how Chani is not written. This is definitely not how Stilgar is written. This is definitely not how uh, they've, the Fremen were factioned and viewed Paul Atreides. And and so all these changes for me, and if you like the changes, that's cool. But this is why for me it's number 5, and it's not 1 or 2. For me, these changes were really showed itself in the rewatches, especially at home on my big screen, and I got whatever. I'm like, the story is like, yeah, man, ah, I'm not down with how they changed the story, and I don't know many people that like the ending of Dune 2. Really bad, really bad. So that's just me, but I know I'm not alone. Solomon, friend of the channel. Good to have you here. Dune 2 is a good film, but I did have some flaws and it felt off sometimes. Plus, the first Dune book could have been a trilogy. The first book is so good. He really, why go off the book to make your own stamp? But your own stamp is just a modern take. And it's not a very dynamic, deep take. It's not. Canadian Spider-Man, good to see you too. Mars, that's my problem with it since the beginning. Yeah. Well, it really showed up in the second movie for me. It's a beautiful film to look at, man. There's some great moments. There really are. That one scene where Zendaya's Chani does make herself vulnerable to Atreides. That's like her best scene, man. And it's funny because I didn't think she was great. She's in this film, but she's in another film coming up that I think is spectacular. And I'm a newfound Zendaya fan. Am I the only one who thought Chalamet screaming consistently was cringy? Yeah, these things when you see it again and again, it's like why did you yell at your mother like that at that time? You can be much more powerful by not. I'm like, oh, again, it kind of takes your power away for when you really are yelling at the masses or at the emperor. It's like, yeah, we're kind of already. I'm not feeling it. Yeah, I don't hate the film, but Denis, his own story ruined it. It's just different. That's why the Mentats were. There's so many things that went wrong. Now, that being said, it made my number 5. Like, it is a beautiful film to look at. There's some great scenes. It is. I had an amazing time at the theater when I saw it. Okay, let me move on. You guys are feeling me. Good. Oh, I think we had a gifted membership. The wonderful It's Courtney Fellowship of Oddballs gifts a Latino Slant membership to who do we got? Who got it? Canadian Spider-Man. Hey, you're now a member of the channel. That's so cool. Woohoo! And you got the emojis. Right on, Slantino Nation. Okay, I'm gonna send Canadian. Can you email me? I want to send you a gift. Also, too, I need Courtney to email me. I want to send you a little something special as well. So yeah, so I'm seeing in the chats, and I'm not alone. A lot of people had a lot of problems with this. Okay, but let's move on. Substance. Wow. Wow, this movie. Stars the great Demi Moore, Margaret Qualley, Dennis Quaid. Number 4 is the substance. Okay, you got the body horror. You got great female performances. You got you kind of got this, some twisted humor in there as well as the kind of Cronenberg horror weirdo-ness. But here's another thing. This is such a statement against Hollywood, against itself. It takes a huge swing at Hollywood and its definitions and its rules and its hypocrisy over women and beauty in the business. Demi Moore is an aging, award-winning actress in the film. In the film, her character turns 50, right? So the substance offers her a different chance at youth, but there's a huge twist. Saw this once in the theater, saw it again here at the house with Romy. She thought this was incredible as well. It's one of my favorite movies of the year. It really is powerful as far as what it's saying in Hollywood, but it also takes on at the end also almost a classic horror scream fest at someone that's so grotesque, like a blob. It's almost like the blob at the movie theater. I mean, it takes on that level of hysteria. Great film. Great film. Number 4. Okay, yeah, give me that email. That'd be great. I'll check the spam. Substance is on Moonbee. Yeah, because it's produced by them. I want to see it, but during my only window of time, Hurricane Helene rolled through. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah. I loved how there was no overt blaming. Hollywood, the institution was called that. Yeah, yeah. Because you could easily correct. Correct. Well, you know why critical? It's a female writer and director. And if you notice, even though she took her swipe at men, she took a swipe at Hollywood, she took a swipe at women as well, and how we treat each other and how we dog each other and how we are vicious and how women are vicious with each other when it comes to envy and jealousy. Oh, she kicked ass, this director. Fun film. Fun film. We're almost to the finish line, guys. Hope you're enjoying our countdown. And Canadian says, I always support your channel. Thank you, dude. Thank you so much. Would have been remembered a long time ago if Canadians had any money, buddy. I get you, man. I get you. Okay, let's move on. Final 3. Here we go. Challengers, number 3. It has to be. It's gotta be. Number 3, Challengers. Wow. I love this film. I love so many things about this film. I love the way it's filmed. I loved how they filmed the sport of it in regards to the tennis matches. I love the music. Trent Reznor did the score, did some songs. I love the vibe, the director, that's Italian director. And then you have the relationships of these 3 people, and it spans about, I'd say, like a dozen years. Upon their first meeting, as would be young generation of tennis stars, and then it goes 12 years to present time. And the relationships of these 3 athletes. Now, This is the first movie where Zendaya won me over with her acting, with her performance. Her character is not a nice person. Her character is the ultimate athlete, competitive athlete, and she sees it in these two men how they are athletes as well, but one's more beta than the other, and there's this whole years and years of a triangle that plays out. It is fascinating. It is fascinating, man. I, 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 I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, people are not seeing this movie, or they didn't go see this movie because Zendaya's in it. She executive produced this film, by the way. That's how much she believed in this film. Josh O'Connor plays one of the guys, and Mike Feist. Josh O'Connor is a British actor they're considering to be the next James Bond. I don't think he should be, but he is a good actor. These guy every these three were fantastic how they played off each other. And there's a little bit of sexiness and erotica. It's very very minor, because I know they played up that one threesome scene. I mean, it's really for a few seconds, but the purpose of that is not to titillate the audience. It's to show you what titillates her and how she has to be in control of these two men. Oh, dude, it is so good. And she's not a good person, right? Mike Feist is the good person in this. And and even he's an idiot. Yeah, and you know what? I've seen this movie now, I think like 3 or 4 times. It gets better and better with each viewing. When I was it's so funny because I wasn't planning to see this film when it came out in March. I was challenged, get it? Haha, challenged to see it because my friend hated it. I'm like, oh, okay. She says, tell me what you think. I'm like, oh man, I think I like this film. And he got challengers. Completely original story, executive produced by its star power, cost I believe 40 million to make. The movie made well over it's like 100 million, and you're seeing Zendaya flex in a movie that's not a Spider-Man movie, a Dune movie, because those movies are going to make money. It's not a Zendaya. This is a Zendaya movie. So yeah, man. And again, I cannot speak to the craftsmanship of the film so much. It's made so well. He directed the shit out of this movie. Every angle, everything had purpose, and it's also so effortless. It's beautiful, man. Great film. Great film. One of my favorites. Number 3. Number 3. Okay, let's see what you guys have to say. Question, Paulie. If you put all the strong independent Hollywood women in an octagon, who would come out alive? I bet on Gina. If Gina's in there, other women wouldn't go in there. Who's Romy? Which movies? Oh, Romy's that's my girlfriend, and Romy's also an actor in the business. So when we see films, we're kind of taking on Gina and Romy. We're kind of taking on a different lens when we watch movies, and we're fans. What we're fans of, like movies like The Heretic or Smile 2. What are the other films I mentioned? We've watched these together, and it's like, very powerful. The Substance. Great Zendaya acting, so unexpected, right? So I got to rewatch the scene in the alley where she's going toe to toe with Josh O'Connor's character. And I was like, oh man, She's even better than what I remembered. All right. Okay, there's two more left. Are you guys ready? Two more left. Thank you guys hanging out with us in Rumble. There's 8 of you in Rumble. Love that. You guys are on X. You guys, we're gonna end the voting soon for favorite film of 2024. We got Sander, we got Daniel T, Critical, Canadian, Mars, all kinds of people hanging out with us still. I love it. Okay, let's get back. Final two. Final two. Yeah, man. So I got a chance to watch Nosferatu um, late November. We got invited to an early screening, me and Rosa. And we were so haunted. You can hear it in our audio review we put up. It's on our main page. It's the main video on our main page still. Still. We talked about just being so haunted by this film, cinematically, visually, and then the acting. From Skarsgård to Lily Depp and how they're intertwined. It's not just one character, it's both characters. To Nicholas Hoult. Oh my God. Nicholas Hoult again. Hey, he's in a couple of top 20 films for us. To Willem Dafoe's just over the top character. My thing was, and I said it in the audio review it, and it was more of a reaction because we couldn't review it, but it's up, right? My question was, I don't know how the general audience is going to feel about this. Because to me, it's almost too artsy. It's too avant-garde. Is it me? Or is this movie too avant-garde? And so far, the American audiences have said, no, we're digging it. Give us a little art, Eggers. We'll take it. Give us some subversive, characters. We're digging it. We give us goth, give us costumes, give us accents, give us some blood, and you can be a little artistic. That's Nosferatu. That's Nosferatu. And I've only seen it once, and I got to see it again. But I was completely impressed with, if Lily Rose Depp does not deliver her performance, the movie's good, but it's not special. Gorgeous film. Yeah, man. I think you guys are agreeing. Is it true your screening was longer than the normal release? I don't know. I have no idea. You know what? Let me go watch a normal release and then I'll get back to you. That's a great question. I'm wondering if Rosa knows that. I'm wondering if we, in fact, saw the extended cut, Daniel T, and then they cut it for the regular audience. Because we did not see, we saw private screening with Academy members. Okay, fair enough. All right, let's get to the number one, guys. Because my number one is not going to be anyone's number one. Number one with a bullet, everybody. Hey, everybody. From Spain, Calle, what's his last name? Sanchez? The Coffee Table. Damn, what a devastating movie. The Coffee Table, even though it was made a few years ago, is released this year. You can see it. It is directed by Calle Casas. It is a unique horror film in that it takes a situation that could happen to anyone. And in this film, it does. And man, you know what's interesting? So the premise is a very simple premise, but the problem happens pretty early in the movie, and then you're like the rest of the film, oh my god, where is this movie taking us? What are these characters doing? And I'm speaking like in real, like, broad strokes because I don't want to ruin this movie for you. Calle Casas and the Coffee Table has been praised from like the horror greats this year, like Stephen King. It's Stephen King's favorite film of the year. And when talking about horror, Stephen King knows what he's talking about. This performance too of the female, she has such a like a deep voice and an odd look that her performance haunts me still. And I saw this movie like what, 6, 8 months ago. And it's it's a special movie because it's not your standard horror film. It's not, there's no, ghost or freaky deegies out there. This is all based on something that could happen in your life, in my life. This could happen. And what would we do moving forward? Man, this movie is done so well. And I would take a look at the five that I have. Like, I mean, right? These top five, they're done so well, but they just stay with you. The stories, the performances. And then, like with Challengers, Nosferatu, and Dune, the cinematic, craftsmanship stays with you. I mean, The Coffee Table is really like a small independent film. It's got no business being in anyone's top 10, but it is. It's my number one movie of the year. Okay, I'm going to play this video as a whole and let's rewind it all the way back. There you go. Did I mute myself? All right. Thank you guys. My God. Lori. All right, here we go. Dan Crane for $2. Here's to 2025. May Polly be less muted this year. Don't self mute yourself, Polly. Oh my God. What else did you gotta? Here we go. Let me read this with sound. Sorry, Tina. I'm back, baby. Dan Crane, been member of the channel for 7 months. Thank you for your memberships. Happy New Year and God bless everyone. Yes. Prospero año y gracias a Dios a todos. Salud, amor y dinero, dinero, amor y salud for everyone. There you go. There you go. Okay. So what I was saying while I was muted is there you have it. 2024 is in the books, man. We'll probably have some guests like a Struggles Reviews, Robert Meyer Burnett, Rosa Para, to go and give us their list. But as far as Paulie and the Latino slant, there you guys have it. I'm going to have that video as a separate video. We'll have links to these movies because they're independent. And let me see what he's saying. And I hope you enjoyed this list. I hope you can also, it'll inspire you to check out some of these movies and all that good stuff, man. People wishing each other Merry Christmas. We may not agree on the top 20 list, but there's no reason to mute you. Carlos. Yeah, it's my 20 list, not yours, but I'm sharing it. You share me yours, I'll share, that whole thing of sharing. Sharing is caring. I don't know, Polly, the movie can't happen in real life. Think about the first thing a normal person would do if they ran into. Um, what I'm saying is that situation, that the accident could happen you've heard those stories. That's probably where Calle Casas got inspired, from a real life story like this. Later on, after the fact, that it gets a little dramatic. I agree with you. But here's on my list, guys. Okay, what else do we got? Let's end the voting. Thank you guys for voting. We're ending the poll now because we are going to wrap it up. Osvaldo sent me another PayPal chat. Ooh, thanks, man. Let me check it out. Excuse me. Got some burpees going on. Oh, I see what you did here. Okay. Oh, thank you for another $5. Thank you so much, Osvaldo. Let me copy and paste a few things here. Give me a second, guys. Paste. Okay, got that. And now let me get the result of the votes. We got that. Thank you, Osvaldo. And Osvaldo, you go on to say in your $5 super chat on PayPal. Thank you so much. I was reluctant to watch The Fall Guy because the premise, stunned people, didn't appeal to me. I'll give it a chance because you and Lorena said good things about it. Plus, it's now $10 put together. Thank you, man. Yeah, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. And it's not a heavy story. It's actually very silly, but it's fun, man. The stunts are badass. Okay, so here is the final poll results. 85 votes. Thank you guys so much. Which of these films were your favorite of 2024? 45% said Deadpool and Wolverine. 21% Dune 2. 21% Nosferatu. 11% Wild Robot. Thank you guys for voting. That is so cool. And hopefully, you guys also remember to smash the thumbs up, and that'll be wonderful as well. And I think that's it, guys. I think we have paid. We made sure we set everyone's chats. 9 people in Rumble watching us. What's up, Rumble? Good to have you guys here with us. And let me know if I have forgotten anything, guys. Solomon Thornton, Carlos Alfredo Lopez, Naz 37, Solomon Thornton, Lord Tot, Osvaldo, Critical Thinker, Daniel T. Guys have been fantastic. Toxic Waltz, Tina Guzman. Guys have been absolutely wonderful. You knew you knew that. Yeah, I mean, of those, I'm kind of surprised Nosferatu didn't get up there higher. Will you cover TV series? Probably not. It's a lot. It's a lot. I think I'm good. Yeah, probably not. Probably not. Osvaldo, great list. Stay firme, everyone. Let's rock 2025. Okay, we're gonna rock it, guys. Wow, that was a lot of fun. Today is Wednesday. I'm gonna be live back with you guys Friday with the great Cameron Pasha, and I will have a. I am gonna review Skeleton Crew. Maybe we'll wait. Maybe we'll wait till Cameron, and we'll do a review together this Friday. Yeah, let's do that. We'll do that. We'll review episode 6 with Cameron Pasha. That's this Friday. Every Friday is with Cameron Pasha at Nas. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna do a hard out, man. That was awesome. 80 people still hanging out with us combined. Wherever you're at, keep your slant. Fuerte. I'm wishing you all love, peace, happiness, health, and wealth 2025. From my heart to yours. Thank you guys. Let's have an amazing 2025. Adios, everybody.